Hey guys, welcome back to my old viewers. Welcome back. Thank you for coming back. To my new viewers, thank y'all for being here. I am Yolanda from Yolandas-journaling. I am all about books. I love to give book recommendations. I love to get book recommendations, and I just love to read books. I wanted to come on and give you guys the books that I must read in 2024. So of course, as you know, it's 24 books, and these are the books that I looked on my shelf, every shelf that I have, and I diligently and slowly picked out the books that I must read in 2024. And it is a mixture of books, and I'm dropping them. It's 24 books, y'all, so I'm not sure how long this vlog is gonna last, but I hope you guys stay on to the end so you can check out the books that I want to read in 2024. Maybe you guys are reading the same books, maybe you have already read the books, and you can tell me your rating of the book or a little bit about the book, if you liked the book, if you didn't like the book, and then we can just communicate about books. So again, y'all, I put a podcast, I put a vlog up about books on Wednesdays and Sundays around 7 p.m. unless life happens, but I've really been on track putting these videos up because I have just been loving being able to read the books and to share the books with you guys. I was going to do the every month TBR, but it takes me a while to like read the books. So what I decided to do was I will just let you guys see all the books that I will read in 2024 because I think that will be easier for me. So it's a mixture of books of YA. I don't know if there's any dark romance in here, but fiction, romance, book talk. It's just a mixture of books and authors that I have looked up on Goodreads. I have just went into the bookstore and found the book and seen the cover, and I really liked the cover, and I was like, I'm gonna get this book. Book recommendations from some of the people that I follow, like Shaughnessy and Alex, and some of the book recommendations that I get from my viewers, subscribers, that comments down in the bottom of my comment section up under my videos. So you guys, let's get started. Okay, so we'll get started with the books that I want to read in 2024. Y'all comment down in the comment section and let me know what books y'all just absolutely have to read in 2024. It doesn't have to be 24 books, of course, but just let me know what books y'all just cannot not read any longer that's on y'all bookshelf, that y'all look at every time y'all walk by that bookshelf, and what those books are, because I don't know, maybe I don't even have those books and I need to add them to my shelf and add them to one of my TBRs. Maybe it'll be a book that I just absolutely have to have as well. So just let me know what those are. So the first book that I just have to read in 2024 is The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith. I have seen this book on one of Shaughnessy's videos, and she said some good things about this book, and I just had to pick it up. So I picked up this one from Walmart, book 1 and book 2, and I read a few lines of one of the chapters, and I also read the back of the book, and I feel like I can really get into this book because I feel like this book will pretty much be like a things that has actually happened in life to either yourself or somebody that you know, and how it actually changed their life for either good or bad. So Eden was always good at being good. Starting high school didn't change who she was, but the night her brother's best friend rapes her, Eden's world capsizes. And this really caught my attention because I know people, and so many people that comes into the place of business that I work that has been through this kind of stuff, and it just really caught my attention to want to read this book. So I did pick up, and I will read The Way I Used to Be by Amber Smith, 2024. The next book is a book that I have seen on people's YouTube channel, shorts and everything so freaking much, and I've had it on my shelf forever. And so when I was looking for the books that I was going to read in 2024, this was one of the books that I seen. Daisy Jones and the Six by Taylor Jenkins Reid. It's a Reese's book club book. So I know that it's a good book. It has a lot of page breaks in it, so that just for me makes it easier to read a book. So I will be very excited to actually read this book, because like I said, you guys have been having such good reviews about this book, and I am excited to read it. The next one is just a book that I seen when I was browsing in Barnes and Nobles one day. It was the only book sitting on that shelf, and the colors and everything just really caught my attention when I looked. And when I looked at the back of the book, it was about some, you know, about the future, 2023, of when we as citizens, we're gonna start wearing chips and everything to ride the buses, go in the grocery stores, like anywhere. And then it was this 16-year-old girl and her family. They crave for a happy life in another town, and before they can get there, like one of their family members' chips started malfunctioning. So that was a whole mess that they would have to go through in order to get their family together in the place that they wanted to be a happy family without having to worry about the chips and all that kind of jazz. So it was called Sanctuary, and I'm not quite sure how to say the author's names, but this is a book that I just must read in 2024. The next one is The Bandit Bookshop of Maggie Banks by Shauna Robinson. This book caught my attention by the cover. I love the little colored lady on the front of the book. And at the time that I got this book, I was actually into Bandit books. So just the cover and the title of this book caught my attention. So I read the back of the book, and pretty much it's just about Maggie Banks. She was helping her best friend with a struggling bookstore with books that, you know, the small town basically like did not want to be sold in their town. And you know, they pretty much like banned the selling of anything written in that particular century. And so Maggie had to really get creative in order to get the town into wanting to buy the books that were actually in the bookstore. This book has a lot of page breaks in it, so I'm pretty sure that I will be able to read this book fairly well. So it's The Bandit Bookshop of Maggie Banks. The next one is a book that I just fell in love with the cover. I've heard so much about the author herself, and I just had to buy, you know, a couple of her books before I even read even one of her books. And this one was just the one that I just must read in 2024, even though I have Before I Let Go and have not read that one. So I know y'all already know who the author is, but this one is the one that I just have to read first by her, and is Long Shot by Kennedy Ryan. I have heard so many good things about this author, so many good things about the books that she read. The books are easy to get into. Some of her books are fairly thick, but that really does not make a difference according to comments and videos that I've seen, because you can just pretty much just fly right through them, because the dialogue and the page breaks and the plot and the characters are just that good. So I am so excited to start this series, The Long Shot. a Hoots novel by Kennedy Ryan. And this one is just pretty much about Iris. She meets somebody named August in a sports bar during her last semester at college. It's a conversation of a lifetime, sending sparks flying in every direction. The connection is undeniable, but timing is all wrong. August is posed as an NBA draft, and Iris belongs to another man, a basketball golden boy, and August's longtime rival. So pretty much it's about Iris and August, and the sparks fly against with them, but Iris actually belongs to somebody else who's actually a basketball player and is the rival of August. So, oh, y'all, I feel like that is going to be so interesting. This is the only book that I have in this series, and just by me sitting here right now today telling you guys that I must read that book in 2024, I have to go to the bookstore and get the other books in that series. I just cannot help it. I got to go, y'all. And another one is Only by the Week by Natasha Bishop. Shaughnessy and Alex, I have heard them rant and rave about this book, and I tried to find it in the bookstores because I just did not want to wait on Amazon to send it to me. So I went ahead on, broke down, got it from Amazon, and I have it in hand right now. I have already started reading it, and the very first chapter sent me into oh my god, I was like, where have this freaking book been all my life? Where have this book been all my life? So pretty much it's just about two sisters. One of them's getting married, and I just really don't want to spoil it for you guys, but this book, from the very beginning of it, it seems like it's gonna have a lot of spice in it, and it has page breaks, it has dialogue, it has text messages between different people inside the book, and I just love it. I just love it so far. I love the way the chapters start up each chapter, and the book itself is just so gorgeous. So you guys, I have actually started this book. I am on page 21, and once I'm through with this video, I just can't wait to get back into reading this book. This book has just, I did want to put it down last night, y'all. I did not, but my eyes got so heavy and I had to, but I'm so excited to get it back into that book. The next one is Never by Jessa Hastings. Again, I seen this one on Shaughnessy's one of Shaughnessy's videos. It's pretty much of a Peter Pan reimagining. I don't think she gave this book a very high rating, probably like a 3.5 or a 3 if I can remember. But Jessa Hastings, I really like her writings in some of her books, like the Magnolia series and everything. So, and also I fell in love with the cover of this book, so I must read this book in 2024 because the cover, every time I look at it on my bookshelf, it just pulls me to it. So I'm like, Yolanda, just pick up that book and just read that book for 2024. So that is another one that I must read in 2024. The next one is Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody. Have not really heard too much about this book, but I really would like to read this one in 2024. Don't really know a lot about this book, so I'm not gonna rant and rave about this book, but Ace of Shades by Amanda Foody on my 2024 must read list. This is another one that I don't know why the cover caught my attention, but it's the Maid by Netta Pose. If I say that name wrong, I'm sorry, y'all. But it's just a really simple cover, and I don't know, it just drew me to the book. So And I think what really drew me to this book was, it was a movie on Netflix that I saw. It was called The Maid, and it was an episode, I think. And I really liked that episode. And when I did see this book, I was like, maybe, you know, I would be interested in reading the book called The Maid. And so I went to a little library, and I actually seen this one in the little library, so I just decided to pick it up to read it. And once I'm done reading it, if I like it or if I don't like it, I'll just put it back in a little library so somebody else can read it. The next one is Practice Makes Perfect by Sarah Adams. Very, very cute book and right up my alley. It looks like it is a romance book. It's about a lady named Anna Walker. She is a quest for her perfect match, someone who complements her happiness. She went to a quiet local flower shop in Rome, Kentucky, and she met someone named Griffin apparently, and I'm guessing sparks just started to fly. Will Griffin, I'm sorry. And y'all here it says Will, the sexy tattoo, awesome, gorgeous bodyguard, is temporarily back in Rome. So, so Will seems like he's cute. Cute. So we'll see what this book says. This book is about is Sarah Adams. Practice Makes Perfect. So let's get a little thrill in our life, y'all. So by Alice Feeney. I've always wanted to read this one. I've looked at it on my bedside book table. It's Rock, Paper, Scissors. I've heard good things about this book, and pretty much, y'all, it's a thriller, and it's about Mr. and Mrs. Wright, and they go on a vacation, and it just goes from there. So like I said, I'm not going to read the back of the book because I have 24 books I gotta give you guys. So Rock, Paper, Scissors by Alice Feeney. And the next one is The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. Apparently she writes a lot of nice, good books. I'm not sure of anything about this book, but I have seen a couple of shorts that rant and rave about this book. A lot of page breaks, a lot of, you know, actual characters, quotes talking in this book, and then it has little things like this in this book. So I am excited to actually read this book. It says Evelyn Hugo is finally ready to tell the truth about her glamorous and scandalous life, but when she chooses unknown magazine reporter Monique Grant to write her story, no one is more astonished than Monique herself. Determined to use this opportunity to jumpstart her career, Monique listens in fascination for making her way to Los Angeles in the 1950s, to leaving show business in the 80s, and of course The Seven Husbands, along with Evelyn, spew a tale of ruthless ambition, unexpected friendship, and a great forbidden love. So I will be excited to read that one and let you guys know how I feel about that one. Moving on, this is a new book that I got not too long ago. It's called The Messy Lives of Book People by Phaedra Patrick. I just got this book, I know, but this I cannot not read this book for this year. The cover really caught my attention, and then it's pretty much about a maid who is going to actually take over the book of the person that she was actually working for. And that's all I'm gonna say about it, because I'm not gonna read the back of it and I don't want to spoil anything. But it looks like this author actually writes other books. I might try to check those books out if I really like this one. One of them that I see is called Library. Oh, I can't read that. But yeah, The Messy Lives of Book People by Philandra Patrick. Get a Life by Chloe Brown by Tyler Hibbert. This book was recommended to me by one of my followers off of YouTube. It's like a whole little series. It's written by a Black author, which I really love. She is a Black British author who lives in her bedroom full of books. Y'all, that is so interesting. Supposedly there is a world beyond that room, but she has yet to drum up enough interest to investigate. She writes sexy, diverse romance because she believes that people of identities needs honest and positive representation. Her interest includes beauty, junk food, and unnecessary sarcasm. Wow. I never read that. You know what, guys? That's one thing that I never do. Like, I always look at if it's a Black or a white author, but I never read about the author. So I'm glad that I read that about this author, because that will make me pay more closer attention to about the author. Wow, that's pretty cool. But anyway, so Get a Life by Chloe Brown, one of the books from one of the series of that series. And y'all, I got to read another one of Sister Frida McFadden's books. I read The Housewife. I have The Housewife's Secret. Have not gotten to read that one yet, but these books have been just looking at me. So I will read Never Lie by Frida McFadden for 2024. I also have The Coworker, Locked Door. I don't have One by One and Inmate. Alex, I think she read Inmate by Frida McFadden, and I don't think she was that impressed on Inmate. So I'm gonna still pick it up, because you know, sometimes you know you'll have a different feeling about the book than someone else. But yeah, I'm gonna read Never Lie by Sister Frida McFadden. Another thriller that I picked up just the other day is called The Last House Guest by Maggie and Miranda. It's a Reese's Book Club book, so you know it has to be out of this world. It's a dazzling plot twist. It's called The Last House Guest by Maggie and Miranda. So it says, don't overstay your welcome, the ultimate thriller. So I will be reading this one. Has a lot of page breaks in it, y'all. And Megan Miranda, she also read Missing Girls, Perfect Stranger, The Last House Guest. Yeah, so The Last House Guest by Megan Miranda. And I started reading this one, y'all. I am actually on page 10 of this book, but I stopped reading it. And I want to get back into it because I have heard so many good things about Mia Chardon's Archer's Voice. Like, the love story of this book, from what I have heard, is awesome. So I want to get back into this book and finish it in 2024. It says it's one of the top 100 romance novels of all time on Goodreads. So I must finish this book this year. Archer's Voice by Mia Chardon. Christina Lauren, Love in Other Words. I actually also started reading this book already. I made it to page 35. Very good book starting out. And it's a dynamic love story. So I will finish this one up in 2024. The next two are library books, so if I don't get to them, I will just recheck them out. This one is called Like a Love Story. I'm not quite sure how to say that name, but to my understanding, it's pretty much just about a boy that had to move from another place with his mom. He's a gay boy. He's afraid that they will find out that he's gay, because it's as though everybody is attaching AIDS with gay. So interested in reading that one. And this one is a book that I have been looking at to read for so long, for a whole year, 2023. And when I decided to renew my library book, I noticed that they had it there, so I picked it up. It's called Honey and Spice. I've heard so many good things about this book. I am very, very excited to read this book. I just love the way this book has the page breaks, and it actually has each person by name talking to each other, so it makes it easier to understand this book and to get through this book. So Honey and Spice by that author there. Holly by Stephen King. Have not really heard that many things about this book. Have never, well, no, I haven't. I have never read a Stephen King's book, but the cover of this book really caught my attention, and I just would like to read this one. The next one is The Last Words by Taylor Adams. It came out in 2023, so it's a fairly new book. I don't know if I've actually heard any of you guys say anything about this book, but by looking at the pages of this book, I think I will be able to understand it, get through it, and be able to have a good rating to give it, and possibly like it. It says Emily Carpenter is living in isolation with her golden retriever, house sitting on an old beachfront home on the rainy Washington coast. Her only human contact is with her elderly neighbor Dirk via text with the house owner's jewels. After posting, okay, so I have heard people talk about this book. I think this one is the one that I heard a lot of people saying that, like, this person put a review about a book that was read, and the book person wanted them to take the review down. It says, after posting a negative book review, a woman living in a remote location begins to wonder if the author is a little touchy or very, very dangerous in this post-pounding novel of psychological suspense and terror from the critically acclaimed author of No Escape at Hairpin Bridge. Yeah, so I do remember people talking about this book. It's pretty much, like I just said, about someone who put up a book review about a book someone wrote, and that person has started to terrorize the person who put the review up. So, oh my god, I'm glad I picked that one up. I want to read that. That sounds interesting, don't it? So this one is called The Other Mothers by Catherine Faulkner. I've never seen this book before, but when I was in Barnes and Noble's Books A Million one day, the cover of it really caught my attention, and I decided to pick it up. It says the author of the twisty, fast-paced, the sunny times returns from a fresh and plotted thriller about murder, class, and motherhood in an exclusive London community. When a young nanny is found dead under mysterious circumstances, new mom Tosh is intrigued. She has been searching for a story to launch her career as a freelance journalist, but she has also been searching for something else, new friends to help her navigate motherhood. So that sounds interesting. We'll be glad to read this one and let you guys know how I feel about it. And y'all, we are on book 24. We are on the last book that I have on my table that I must read in 2024. It's by Rebecca Ross, Divine Rivals. I've had this book for ever since 2023, probably toward the end of 2023. I don't know how I feel about this book. I never have read a book by Rebecca Ross, so I will be going in blindly reading this book from her. It says she's been raised in Georgia. She resides with her husband and Australian shepherd. She has an endless piles of books. She loves coffee, night sky, chalk art, maps and mountains, and grows wildflowers in her yard. Okay, so something very interesting about the author. I love to actually see what the author is like, what the author likes, and I feel like that'll bring me closer to the feeling and the ratings that I would have for the books that they write. It says, two young rival journalists finds love through a magical connection. They must face the depths of hell in a war between gods to seal their fate forever. After centuries of sleep, the gods are warring again. But 18-year-old Iris just wants to hold her family together. Her mother is suffering from addiction and her brother is missing from the front lines. Her best bet is to win the colonist promotion at the Oath Gala. Wow. No God, no creature, no war can come between them. Well, I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll see. It's Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. No, we'll see. Alright guys, so that is the 24 books that I would like to read in 2024. The 24 books that I must read in 2024. I really enjoyed the selection that I made for this 2024 book year to read. There's not one book in there that I actually have second thoughts about, and that is such a good thing. Like, there's not one book that I have second thoughts about in the pile of books that I have. So that is good, y'all. So you guys, like I said, comment down below and let me know the books that you guys just absolutely have to read in 2024, and hopefully we are reading the same books, and hopefully we can enjoy them together and talk about them together. So you guys remember, subscribe to my page, and YouTube will let you know when Yolanda's Journaling uploads another video. Subscription and notifications on. Wednesdays and Sundays is when I actually upload videos. And y'all, I love books. I love to go book shopping. I love to get book recommendations, and I love to talk about books with you guys. So let's talk about books in our next video. Bye guys.
You don't care what you're doing to me. I've been down in the ruins so deep. All the games that you played, all the love you forsaken, you let it slip away.